Good day everyone, and welcome back to yet another installment of our annual Oscar predictions, where I'm hoping to redeem myself for a pretty poor performance last year. I only predicted 14 out of 23 of the categories correctly, the worst performance in the past 5 years, and obviously this year we are aiming for a much better outcome so you can be well informed and hopefully win any bets you have with your friends, co-workers, and online. If you are new here, then I wanted to let you know that the predictions are based on a combination of my observations of momentum shifting in the industry, historical data, as well as good old-fashioned gut feel. One more thing to point out is that I'll be mentioning various guild or precursor awards throughout the video. These are separate award shows that take place in the lead up to the Oscars, and because there is some overlap in the voters, guild awards often represent a good leading indicator of who will eventually win the Oscar. And with that context out of the way, let's get those predictions underway. So let's start with Best Supporting Actress. This is a two-horse race this year between Zoe Saldana and Ariana Grande. Now this video is being recorded before the Screen Actor Guild Award winners, the SAGs, are announced, but I think whoever wins that award is probably going to win the Oscar. The winner of the SAG has won the Oscar in 22 out of the last 30 years and 9 out of the last 10 years, which is a 73 to 90% chance of predicting the eventual Oscar winner. I'm personally rooting for Ariana Grande, but the reality is that Zoe Saldana is the more experienced actress. She's contributed a lot more to the industry, and I think voters will feel that she needs to be recognized for that. She is the favorite, and this is currently where the momentum is as well, but look out for who wins the SAG. For Best Sound this year, I actually feel like Dune 2 will snag this one. The current odds-on favorite based on awards ranking site Gold Derby is Wicked, and for good reason, given the skill required for sound mixing on musicals. But I do believe that Dune Part 2 just had such spectacular sound design. The effects of the sand, the worms, the dream sequences, all of this really builds on the first movie, which, by the way, also won the Oscar for sound. Richard King, the sound designer for Dune 2, already has 4 Oscars, so he knows what it takes to win, although it shouldn't be ignored that Wicked's designer has 2 wins as well. For Best Cinematography, I am picking The Brutalist. I thought the movie is a gorgeously shot film, and the shot selection in the film adds significantly to how big and grand this saga really is. Dune 2 cinematography is fantastic as well, but I think Dune in general suffers from being released too early in the year, and it didn't do enough marketing to be top of mind for voters. And FYI, the outcome of the American Society of Cinematography Awards hasn't been announced at the time of recording, but this precursor hasn't been a great indicator for who wins the Oscar anyways, so I'll just leave it at that. Best Documentary Short Subject. The shorts are always tough, and I have seen 4 of these short films. If I were voting, I would probably pick Incident and Infuriating Film, but I'm going to align with the odds-on favorite, which seems to be I Am Ready Warden. Well made, emotionally charged, probably my next favorite on the list. Best Visual Effects is likely going to either Dune Part 2 or Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. The first Dune movie won this award last time round, and by contrast, none of the Apes movies have won this award. The Visual Effects Society Awards winner this year was Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, but this precursor has only aligned with the Oscar winner 7 out of the last 15 times since Best Picture was expanded to 10 nominees. The BAFTAs are a better predictor of the Oscar winner, aligning 10 out of the last 15 times. The BAFTA this year went to Dune 2, so that will be my pick. A Best Picture nominee has only been beaten by a non-Best Picture nominee on 1 occasion, which makes me confident that Dune will take this. The Best Animated Film category threw up a shock for me last year, and I wonder if a small film like Flow can actually snatch the Oscar, similar to The Boy and the Heron. But I still think it's going to be The Wild Robot, which is the better film. It swept at the Precursor Awards, the Annies, recently, so I do think this one is close to a lock. In the Best Animated Short Film category, I have seen 4 of these films, and it's between Annie Award winner Wander to Wonder as well as Beautiful Men. I'm predicting that Beautiful Men will win this category. This is a Dutch stop-motion film which is quite introspective, exploring themes of masculinity, self-esteem, and family dynamics in a depth that no other film in this category can match. It's also a favorite on Gold Derby at the time of recording. With Best Supporting Actor, the consensus is that Kieran Culkin will be winning, one of the less controversial opinions this year. I think he'll also win the Screen Actors Guild Award, and the winner of that award has gone on to win the Oscar 21 out of the past 30 times and 9 out of the last 10 times for Supporting Actor. That's between a 70 to 90% chance for the former Succession star to get his first Oscar, with no clear threat from the other nominees. International feature film is a trickier pick this year. This was Emilia Perez's category to lose once upon a time, but with the recent controversies, I expect it's actually going to lose to I'm Still Here, which I'd argue is more than worthy of winning, not only because it's also nominated for Best Actress and Best Picture, but also because it's just a much better made film. Emilia Perez could still take it, but I'm banking on voters to distance themselves from the film. Next is Best Live Action Short Film. I have seen 4 of these, and to be honest, I quite liked Alien, but it seems to be a 2-horse race between Anuja and The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent. Both good films, but I'm going to go with Anuja. Netflix has traditionally done quite well in the shorts categories, having won last year as well. The film has some big names backing it, namely Priyanka Chopra Jones and Mindy Kaling. Plus, I think the social justice and socio-economic mobility themes of Anuja is something the Academy will want to align themselves with. Best Costume Design is probably going to Wicked. It's got all the momentum right now, and the costume design is indeed very good, but one key area of concern is that only 3 times since 1999 has this Oscar not gone to a period film, and Nosferatu and Gladiator 2 both match that profile. But I'm sticking with Wicked, as it is a Best Picture nominee. I believe the Academy is a big promoter of the film, and they'll want to reward it in at least some of the technical categories. Best Original Screenplay, lots of great films nominated. Sean Baker has almost always been the favorite for Anora, and that's where my vote is going as well. The man has been incredibly consistent in his screenplays, and I believe he will finally be recognized this year. They won their category at the Writers Guild Awards, although the winner of that award has won the Oscar only 24 out of the last 40 times and 6 out of the last 10 times, which is 60% of the time, so not the strongest correlation. For Best Adapted Screenplay, the Writers Guild Awards winner went on to win the Oscar 27 out of the past 40 times and 7 of the past 10 times, meaning it has between a 68 to 70% accuracy of predicting the Oscar winner. This year is going to be a bit different, as the frontrunner in this category, Conclave, isn't even nominated by the WGA, and even though the WGA went to Nickel Boys, I don't see any serious threat to Conclave here because it has a lot of momentum. It's likely going to be the only award on the night that Conclave wins, and I'm happy it's this one. Best Original Score is another category that will likely go to The Brutalist, one of 2 very catchy scores in this category along with The Wild Robot. From the very first scene of The Brutalist, I thought the score captured the tone of the film perfectly, so no complaints whatsoever that it's the frontrunner. A potential spoiler here could be Wicked, a well-liked film by voters overall, but I don't see it happening at this stage. Best Film Editing is also a tough one. Look at how stacked most of this list is. It's currently a 2-horse race between Conclave and Anora, And I'm not exactly an editing expert, but my vote is going to Anora. While I would not be surprised to see Conclave winning, I feel the quality of Anora as a film is elevated in the edit. Like the scenes where Vanya's house is broken into by his uncle, I think they're amazing, and a huge part of the reason they're so funny is in the editing. Best Documentary Feature. For the record, my favorite film here is actually Black Box Diaries, but no other land is likely taking this. The subject matter, the urgency, and the profile of the two directors I think almost guarantee frontrunner status. Precursor awards in this category tend to be quite inconsistent with the Oscars, so I believe the film with the most momentum is going to prevail here. Best Production Design. The Academy voters tend to like period films, but they went for fantasy last year, and they're probably going to repeat that this year with Wicked, which won the Art Directors Guild Award. Spectacular production design. I mean, all the man-made sets must have taken ages to do, and no other film on this list even comes close in my opinion. Best Original Song. This is probably the only award Emilia Perez is most likely to win on the night. Honestly, not a fan of this year's selection, but El Mal has been gaining momentum, winning the Golden Globe, the Critics' Choice Award, and the BAFTA, so all the signs are pointing to a likely victory. Best Director. Brady Corbet was the frontrunner for a while for The Brutalist, but after winning the DGA, the Directors Guild Award, Sean Baker is now leading the way, and only 8 times out of 76 has the winner of this award not won the Oscar, which gives Sean Baker a theoretical chance of winning at 90%. And well deserved too. Baker has been in the scene for a while, he's done a lot for indie cinema, and Anora is simply some of his best and most accessible work. Makeup and hairstyling. It's a battle between Wicked and The Substance, and I think the writing is on the wall that this award is going to The Substance. Definitely something I would get behind. The transformation of Demi Moore in particular was some really great work. The Substance could join a list of Best Actor, Best Makeup winning pairs, which is an increasingly common thing in the past 10 years, with The Whale, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, and Darkest Hour all achieving the same combination. Best Actor in a Leading Role. The winner of the SAG has gone on to win the Oscar 24 out of the past 30 years and 8 out of the last 10 years, which translates to an 80% chance of predicting the Oscar winner. We haven't yet seen who the SAG winner is, but I expect it to be Adrien Brody, who I'm also predicting will win the Oscar. It's his second Oscar, and I honestly would prefer if Ralph Fiennes snagged it, but there just hasn't been enough buzz and campaigning on his part to build a strong case for him, so I'd be surprised if Brody doesn't get it. Best Actress is a category that has year after year been pretty stacked. Other than Carla Sofia Gascon, I would not be surprised if any of the other 4 won. I would say the race this year is between Demi Moore, Mikey Madison, and an unlikely contender in Fernanda Torres, who has made herself very visible in her campaign and shot up the rankings after her initial nomination. Before last week, it seemed as though the momentum was firmly in Demi Moore's favor, and if she wins the SAG, she might win the Oscar. The winner of the SAG award won the Oscar 21 out of the past 30 years and 7 out of the last 10 years, which is a 70% chance of predicting the Oscar winner. There has been a recent twist here as Mikey Madison won the BAFTA, and BAFTA winners in this category tend to show an even stronger correlation with Oscar winners, with 8 out of the last 10 winners also taking home the big golden statuette. It's definitely a tough one. I've been burnt before by ignoring the BAFTAs, but I do believe it's Demi Moore's year this year, so that's what I'm going with. And finally, we have Best Picture. The winner of the Producers Guild Awards, the PGA, has won the Oscar 25 out of the last 35 times and 7 times in the last 10 years, which means there is a 70% correlation between PGA and the Academy Award. Anora won the PGA awards this year, and combined with a win at the DGAs for Sean Baker as well as a WGA win, all the signs are pointing to a very likely win for Anora at the Oscars. The only movie in history to lose Best Picture while winning PGA, DGA, and WGA was Brokeback Mountain roughly 2 decades ago, so I'm confident that Anora will deliver on an amazing night for Sean Baker and team. And there we go, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Here's our annual reminder that the Oscars are far from the best way to judge a movie's quality. It's just something fun we do every year. Who do you think deserves to win? Let me know in the comments below. I'll be back with a new video soon, so until next time, have a great week ahead. Stay safe, stay hyped, and I'll see you next time.